Good afternoon. I'm Jack Goodwin. I want to welcome you on behalf of KEVA to our shortest webinar of the day. This one is a virtual test drive in a Tesla Model 3. A little bit of a backstory. My wife had been exposed to a Tesla Model S a few years ago, and then all of a sudden discovered on a Sunday that Tesla would be taking reservations on the new Model 3. She insisted that we were going to put down a reservation, which we did, and 26 months later, she took delivery of her red Tesla Model 3, 2018 Model 3, which she let me drive about once or twice a week, and then I would get back in my 20-year-old internal combustion engine car and drive around, and within 6 months, I decided that that was enough of internal combustion and got her to agree to let me place an order for my own Tesla Model 3. Hers took 26 months, mine took 10 days to come in. That's the car that we're going to use in today's test drive. It's a dual motor, all-wheel drive, long-range battery version. And for this test drive, we recruited one of our neighbors, NEAL, who had never even ridden in an electric vehicle before. So Neil's going to have a chance to drive my car. One of the fun things about National Drive Electric Week every year is the ride and drive and the ability, the opportunity that people have to go out and ride in various electric vehicles, test drive some of the various electric vehicles, and things are a little different this year. So we tried to make this video as close as possible to the sense of driving a Tesla Model 3 for the first time. So let's go for a ride with Neil at the wheel.
This is all done here.
And you'll see the steering wheel icon next to it. Touch that. Same scroll wheel you were using, but now it adjusts the steering wheel.
Oh, this is... You're kidding. Okay.
If you push up on that stalk on the right side of the steering wheel, it will put you in reverse. No, the stalk. Give you an R for reverse.
Oh my goodness.
So Neil, just for the record, how many electric vehicles have you driven?
This is the first. It's just so smooth.
You'll notice as you lift your foot off the pedal, the car starts to slow down. That's regenerative braking, and it's actually putting energy back on the battery to slow the car down.
Oh my goodness, this is slick. Well, you got to get used to that. The braking on the pedal, don't you?
A little bit of adjustment, but it comes pretty quickly.
Man, it's like driving a starship. Holy cow! Do my brake lights go on when I let up on the gas?
Do what?
The brake lights only go on when I hit the pedal, though, right?
No, the brake lights, if the car is slowing down fairly rapidly, above a certain amount, then the brake lights come on, even if you haven't.
Wow.
Hit the pedal.
Oh, this is sweet. Holy cow.
The battery sits under the floor of the car, so the center of gravity is really low, and that makes it very stable on.
This is like a train, isn't it? It's got some sauce in it, doesn't it? It just feels so stable. That's the thing that is interesting about it. It doesn't push at all in the corners. It's just as tight as can be on the handling.
This car is rated at 310 miles on full charge.
Wow. And then typically, if you have it down to 20%, you want to fill it up. What does it cost you if you have to do it somewhere? $15?
Well, less than that. Typically, to charge from 15 to 20% up to about 80% at a Tesla supercharger is around $10. It varies with
Oh, this thing is just sweet. And the seats are comfortable. I like this thing. Man, oh man, that is just so... It just goes.
in the time I've had it.
It just... That's fun. Oh my goodness. This thing is sweet. And it just keeps on going.
It does. I don't know. Don't know how it accelerates beyond 100. I really haven't tried that.
Oh my goodness, this is just, it's so smooth and responsive. I mean, it is the most responsive thing I've ever been in. I just never felt that kind of... I felt power like that, but never that smooth. You know, there's no sweet spot. It's all power. You know, most engines have they got a sweet spot where you jump on them and then they'll slug a little bit and then all of a sudden you'll hit it and then you almost can't shift fast enough. This one is just all power. All the way.
Electric motors have 100% of their torque available immediately. So it's not like an internal combustion engine that has to get up to a certain number of RPMs for the torque to kick in. It's right there when you start. So let's have a little bit of fun here when you make the turn and get straightened out. Put your foot all the way to the floor.
Oh my goodness. I've never had anything ever like that before in my life.
Well, you gave up on it in a hurry.
Huh?
You gave up on it.
I saw that car sitting there.
Try it again. That's probably good.
My goodness, it just goes. What is the speed on this? What's the time on 0 to 60? 2 seconds?
No, on this one it's about 4.3. The performance version of this car, 0 to 60 is just under 3 seconds, I think.
Wow. I I just can't believe there's no gauges at all. None.
Well, what would you do with an oil pressure gauge?
I don't know. Feel more at home.
Well, maybe we could get them to write one in the software so it looks like
Golly.
when you've got no oil, you need no oil pressure gauge.
So what maintenance do you do to these?
Very little. In the 2 years that Susan's had her car, zero maintenance. We've put some tires on it. She just got a computer hardware upgrade for her full self-driving capability, but mechanical maintenance, not necessary. Occasionally you'll have to replace brake pads or wiper blades, but the brake pad's not as often as on the standard vehicle because most of your slowing down is done with the regenerative braking.
I don't know if I believe you on the 4-second thing. I think it's faster than that. Man, oh man, it's fast. This is just like being on a train.
The car has 7 cameras, and the forward-looking cameras are watching for things like traffic cones. And sometimes they're seeing other things, like Joel's brown mailbox post looks like a traffic cone.
And then I do, to put this into park, I do what?
You push in the button on the end of that stalk.
Well, there we are. Wow.
So one of the key things about the electric vehicle experience is that instant torque and just how quickly vehicles accelerate. This is pretty uniform across the range of electric vehicles. Some are quicker than others, but all have access to that torque right at the beginning. With that, I think we'll move into our Q&A opportunity here. Let me see what we've got coming in for some questions. And while I bring those up, I want to let you know that in just a few minutes, we're going to have a drawing, and one of the people that is on right now will win a $50 Amazon gift card. So hold tight for that, and we'll get into these questions. Let's see, there was a question. You aren't driving faster than the speed limit, were you? No, I was not. I was not driving faster than the speed limit. I was not driving at all. So there's your answer. The next question asks, are there any incentives for home charging in the Knoxville area? As a matter of fact, there are. The Knoxville Utility Board is offering a home charging incentive for their customers. If you're a KUB customer, then they will, I believe it's a $400 incentive that they're offering. You have your charger installed, show them the proof of installation, and they will give you $400 in credit toward your utility bills over the next few months. I think there may also still be a little bit of a federal tax credit for installing a home charging system, but that's something you'd need to check with your tax attorney or accountant. The next question, did you have the sunroof open? I know my son's EV is very quiet. The answer to that is fairly easy on the Tesla Model 3. That's not a sunroof. They call it an atrium roof, and it does not open. There are other EVs that do have sunroofs that open, but the Tesla Model 3 does not. Let's look at the next question. What can we do to advocate for charging in multi-unit dwellings? Many people can't afford to live in a detached home and live in apartments. That is a very good question. And it's quite an issue, I think, for a lot of people. If you're in apartments or in condominiums, then you're kind of in the hands of the property owners and the condominium association, things like that. The best advice I can give you right now is to lobby with the condominium association if that's what's involved. Keep an open conversation going with your landlord if you're in rental units. Explain to them the advantages and disadvantages and see if they'll work with you. Sometimes it can be you can arrive at a fairly easy solution. Sometimes you get into some serious issues with having to run wiring and other things. But it's as much a matter of keeping that conversation going as any other option. I think there's some other questions here. Looks like that may be the question. We'll still take more questions as we go. In the meantime, let's just see what we can do about that that gift card I told you about. As I said, we're going to have this little random drawing right here. It looks like we've got 17 people online right now. So I've got a random number, and let's just see what we get. Well, those 17, I only see 10 people here logged in. The computer's not counting well today. Let me figure this out.
You want me to click a number?
I've got a number.
Okay.
Nikki, I see that you're logged in. If you will reply to us with your email, we will see to it that you get that $50 Amazon gift card emailed to you as quickly as we can make that happen. So we still have time, I think, for a few more questions, if need be. Make sure I answered. What is the status of the development and sale of portable chargers for consumers? That's an interesting question. If I understand the question, that would be something you could throw in the trunk, carry with you, and then replenish your battery as you're traveling. I've not seen anything so far that shows viability for that sort of thing for personal use. I know Tesla and I think maybe even Electrify America have some portable chargers on flatbed trucks, but that won't work for most consumers. What you're looking at there is either some kind of generator or some kind of secondary battery system, and those both involve weight, and generator would involve some additional move back toward fossil fuels, which kind of defeats the purpose of an electric vehicle. We found, my wife and I found that on our road trips, charging has not been a particularly scary thing to do. Tesla, of course, has their own network that makes it fairly easy to find chargers when you need them. There are other fast charging networks. Electrify America is perhaps the best known. EVgo is another network of fast chargers. There are also an awful lot of level 2 chargers around the country. They're a bit slower, but they can put 30 or so miles on your car in about an hour and get you on to the next fast charger. So the infrastructure for charging is building out at a rate that would make the concept of portable charger probably not one that we'll see much development. Take another look here. So I haven't seen a response from Nikki on that charge card. So let's try again, and I'll draw somebody else's name. Steve, I see you're listed here. If you're still sitting there in front of your computer, Steve, if you would reply with your email, then we will send you a $50 Amazon gift card. You can send that in through the Q&A or through the chat function, just so that we know where we can send it. Any other questions? We've got just a few more minutes that we can answer those. While we wait for to give others a chance to get in here, then let me remind you that we do have seminars going on throughout the day today. I think the next one is probably, well, I don't remember. But if you stay with us into the...
It's customs and conversions at 11:30.
Okay, thanks, Gary. The electric vehicle conversions, customs and conversions will start shortly. I think I've probably run well past my time frame, so I'm going to let you go here to brief intermission and then stay with us for the next webinar. And thank you, Steve. I've got your email here. We'll get that gift card out to you.